Continuing coverage tonight of Illinois' criminal justice reform law. With the Illinois State Supreme Court upholding the constitutionality of the SAFETY Act, law enforcement agencies and the courts are now preparing for the elimination of cash bail. News 8's Jenna Webster joins us in studio and explains why the Knox County State's Attorney says some things will change for the better, while other changes still need to be made.
Yeah, Shelby, so the Knox County State's Attorney says these next few months will be about making sure everyone in the criminal justice system, from police to the judges, understand what the law is. So instead of arguing about what it means, the only disagreement they're having are whether or not someone should be detained or released. Behind the doors of the Knox County Courthouse, the state's attorney and his team are busy preparing for changes.
It is a significant change in how we've done it.
That's all because of the elimination of cash bail, meaning money will no longer play a role in whether a suspect is incarcerated while awaiting trial.
We put together about a 100-page handbook on the SAFETY Act for law enforcement, courthouse staff, the jail, everyone who touches the criminal justice system.
Jeremy Carlin is the Knox County State's Attorney, one of several in Illinois who had filed to declare the law unconstitutional.
A police officer will encounter an individual and he has probable cause to believe that the individual has committed a crime. If it's a certain type of crime, a violent crime, that person will just simply be detained.
On the other hand, committing a lower-level crime means that person will be brought to jail and then released. So the elimination of cash bail means the court has to determine who has reason to be detained, something that's actually not too different to discussions happening now when setting bail.
From time to time, we are surprised when, even though we set a high bail, someone comes up with $50,000, say, and they get released, and we're wondering, how did that happen? And then we're worried, right? Under the SAFETY Act, we don't do that anymore. You're just detained.
But Carlin says he views bail reform as a two-step process, saying there aren't enough resources for people who get released after committing crimes because of addiction or poor mental health.
And I'm hoping that our state legislature will provide the resources so we can provide adequate drug treatment and mental health treatment to our criminal defendants.
But in the meantime, he and his team will continue trainings with law enforcement and the court system, from the circuit clerk to the judge, to make sure everyone understands the new law, so there's no confusion when it takes effect September 18th. Now, Carlin says one of his biggest concerns come September is going to be the workload. While there's going to be fewer people in custody, he says he and other states' attorneys' offices will be having to do 3 or 4 more times the amount of paperwork for those who are.
Now, you also learned that Knox County has to start preparing for a loss in revenue. What does that mean?
Yeah, so the state's attorney told us that the county gets 10% of the revenue from cash bail. So once the court proceedings are over, the county gets that money. So we did find that interesting. We didn't know that before. So we're going to be looking into where that money goes and, what's going to happen now that they don't have it.
All right. Thank you, Jenna.